Robert pulled out the money from his mud-stained pocket, the bills darkened from handling.
Here's 3,000 yuan for you.
The trafficker spat on his hand, squinting as he counted the money.
Robert, you're in for a treat. This young lady is a college student.
Robert's eyes gleamed as he stared at the girl behind the trafficker, swallowing hard. I hid behind him, cautiously sizing her up.
Please, let me go. I'll give you any amount of money you want.
She knelt on the ground, refusing to follow Robert, begging the trafficker to release her.
Be careful. Don't let her escape, or neither of us will have a good ending.
Understood.
Grabbing her hair roughly, Robert dragged her into the house, cursing all the while. That night, I heard sounds from Robert's room, objects being thrown, sharp slaps, cries, and wails that lasted all night. When she emerged from his room, her clothes were in tatters, and a bruise marred the corner of her mouth.
From now on, she's your mother. Keep an eye on her. If she runs, I'll deal with you.
I nodded fearfully, not daring to provoke him. I found some of my late mother's clothes for her. She took them mechanically and put them on.
I'd put your red dress in the closet. Robert told me to stay close to you.
Her eyes were vacant, her expression numb. After a long pause, she finally spoke.
How old are you, little sister?
5.
She seemed lost in thought, her brow furrowing as she was about to ask more questions when Robert entered.
Are you done? Sarah, go make dinner.
I didn't dare disobey Robert and quickly left the room to start cooking. While preparing the meal, I kept glancing back at the house. Despite her constant pleas, Robert dragged her back to the room and chained her with a thin iron chain. When the meal was ready, Robert brought a metal bowl with some food to her.
I don't want to eat. Get out.
Smack, a heavy slap landed on her face.
I spent a lot of money on you. You must give me a son.
After cursing, Robert kicked her a few more times, leaving her lying on the ground, unable to move. In the days that followed, she became more compliant, helping with the household chores. Robert was pleased, thinking she had given up on escaping out of fear. But rumors spread in the village about Robert buying a pretty student. Some villagers would come over to drink with Robert, though their real intention was to find out where he had bought her. Our village was remote and isolated, with a strong preference for sons over daughters. Many bachelors couldn't find wives. When they heard about Robert's purchase, they started plotting. One day, John brought a jug of rice wine to visit Robert. As soon as he entered, he saw Emily doing laundry.
So, you're Robert's new wife. You're quite pretty.
He put down the wine and rolled up his sleeves to help her hang the clothes. She walked away with the clothes, clearly disgusted, but John followed persistently.
John, what brings you here?
Robert returned from chopping wood and immediately understood John's intentions when he saw the wine.
Robert, let's talk inside.
I didn't dare follow to eavesdrop and obediently stayed with Emily. One day, John brought a jug of rice wine to visit Robert. As soon as he entered, he saw Emily doing laundry.
So, you're Robert's new wife. You're quite pretty.
He put down the wine and rolled up his sleeves to help her hang the clothes. Emily walked away with the clothes, clearly uncomfortable, but John followed persistently.
John, what brings you here?
Robert asked, returning from chopping wood and immediately understanding John's intentions when he saw the wine.
Robert, let's talk inside.
John awkwardly wiped his mouth, picked up the wine, and pulled Robert aside, his eyes still lingering on Emily. I didn't dare follow to eavesdrop and obediently stayed with Emily. My father went to confront Michael, the fortune teller, who had deceived him by saying that because he had previously harmed my mother, no male child would want to be born into our family. My father took out all his anger on me, cursing me as a jinx and a bringer of bad luck.
Sarah, how did your mother die?
My mother was mistreated by my father for giving birth to girls. He sold my other sisters. When I was born, she fell ill and couldn't have more children. My father blamed me, and my mother also believed it was my fault.
My father beat my mother severely one night when he was drunk, and she never recovered. With red eyes, I told Emily my story.
Sarah, you shouldn't live here. You can't become another me.
Because my father couldn't get what he wanted to have another child with Emily, but she refused. No matter how much he mistreated her, she clenched her fists tightly, her eyes bloodshot, and remained silent. My father then came up with an idea. When Emily wasn't paying attention, he sold the newborn baby girl to traffickers. When Emily couldn't find the baby and saw my father return with a sum of money, she instantly understood everything. She started screaming at my father. After a slap from him, she collapsed heavily in front of me. When she woke up, she laughed hysterically, becoming increasingly erratic.
Go away, all of you.
I had never seen her so broken. The villagers whispered behind her back, saying she had been driven mad by my father, pitying her. I found it laughable. Weren't they partly responsible for her fate? I began taking care of her daily needs. She seemed to see me as the child who had been sold, always staying close to me and not letting my father near me. Sometimes, when my father got drunk and beat me with a stick, she would shield me.
Don't be afraid, I'll protect you.
My father, desperate for a male child, started tormenting her every night. I could always hear the sounds of her being mistreated. When I was 7, she finally gave birth to a boy. My father, beaming, told me,
Sarah, your mission is complete.
My father named the child David. After that, he often carried my brother around the village, eager to let everyone know that the Robert family had a successor. With the arrival of this child, Emily's life gradually improved. When I turned 18, Lisa, the village matchmaker, visited our home at night. My father greeted her with a smile.
Not bad, not bad. She looks like she'll be a good mother.
As she left, she kept glancing at me, her eyes lighting up with a sycophantic smile. Shortly after Lisa left, my father came out of the house.
Sarah, I've arranged for you to marry John's son. It's a good match. Prepare yourself.
I don't want to marry someone 20 years older than me.
I've raised you all these years. You need to be grateful. Your brother will need a wife in the future. If you don't marry, where will we get the money?
My father, fearing I might run away, locked me in the room.
You're just like your late mother, a bringer of bad luck. I should have gotten rid of you both back then.
Lying on the bed, my father's words stabbed at my heart like a knife. Because I refused to marry John's son, my father kept me locked in the room, forbidding Emily from bringing me food. After 2 days without food, my stomach ached from the prolonged hunger. Weakly, I lay by the door. Emily, taking advantage of my father's inattention, secretly brought me food. I devoured it ravenously.
Sarah, my life is ruined here, but you must escape.
What are you doing?
He opened the door and stood over me, his imposing figure making me tremble with fear.
Sarah, if you don't marry next month, you'll see what I'm capable of.
Father, please, I'll find a way to earn money. Don't make me marry John's son.
My words enraged him. He grabbed a wooden stick, ready to strike me. Just as the stick was about to hit me, Emily threw herself forward, grabbing the stick tightly. My father, furious, kicked her away. The stick, meant for me, landed on her instead. This time, my father was exceptionally brutal. One of her front teeth was broken, her forehead was cut, and blood slowly trickled from the corner of her mouth. I shielded Emily with my body, taking the blows meant for her. The pain was so intense that I almost went numb.
Sarah, move away.
David stood at the door, watching his biological mother being beaten, his eyes devoid of any sympathy. My father, satisfied with his beating, called my brother over.
Son, if your wife doesn't listen in the future, beat her until she does.
David nodded, his face still cold and indifferent. After they left, I tried to help Emily up. She picked up the broken stick and painfully wrote 911 on the ground.
Remember these 3 numbers. They could save your life one day. Escape. Don't become another me.
One day, John brought a jug of rice wine to visit Robert. As soon as he entered, he saw Emily doing laundry.
So, you're Robert's new wife. You're quite pretty.
John put down the wine and began rolling up his sleeves to help her hang the clothes. Emily walked away with the clothes, clearly disgusted, but John followed persistently.
John, what brings you here?
Robert had returned from chopping wood and immediately understood John's intentions when he saw the wine.
Robert, let's talk inside.
I didn't dare follow to eavesdrop and obediently stayed with Emily. Over the course of 3 years, my father repeated the same words to me countless times. Each time, I reminded myself.
Sarah, remember this. You must make them pay.
The day of the arranged meeting with the matchmaker arrived. John's house was bustling with celebration, and the villagers flocked to congratulate him. My father, wanting to show off, wore his best suit, even though it didn't fit him well. The procession came to our house, and my father forced a red flower onto me.
Robert, from now on, our families are in-laws.
John said, patting my father's shoulder with a grin. John's son, Tom, limped behind him as my father pushed me forward.
Sarah, you two should live well together.
My father said, his fake smile appearing once again. He whispered something into John's ear, and John ordered a few men to hold me down and forcibly take me to his house. That night, I took out the scissors I had hidden under the pillow embroidered with the word happiness. Tom burst through the wooden door and lunged at me. He pinned me down on the bed, and just as he was about to proceed, I seized the opportunity to kick him hard.
Ah.
The pain made Tom cry out, and I quickly grabbed the hidden scissors and stabbed at him. He dodged and ran outside, where the guests, seeing him in distress, exchanged puzzled glances.
Anyone who tries to stop me will turn this celebration into a tragedy.
My words made the villagers hesitate and stop in their tracks. My father felt humiliated but couldn't hit me due to the special occasion. John stood behind him, his face darkening. I gripped the scissors tightly and edged towards the door. No one dared to speak, but they were ready to catch me at any moment. As I neared the door, I saw a glimmer of hope. I seized the chance and ran towards the mountains with all my might. The rugged path was difficult, but I didn't dare stop, fear enveloping me completely. I stumbled over branches but quickly got up, ignoring the searing pain in my feet, knowing my pursuers were close behind. I knew that if I were caught, only an abyss awaited me. After running for what felt like an eternity, the sounds behind me gradually faded. Emerging from the forest, I saw a wide road ahead. Exhausted, I walked along it, and a car passed by. I waved desperately, but it didn't stop.
I've escaped, but where do I go?
Hunger and exhaustion overwhelmed me, and I collapsed. One day, John brought a jug of rice wine to visit Robert. As soon as he entered, he saw Emily doing laundry.
So, you're Robert's new wife. You're quite pretty.
He put down the wine and rolled up his sleeves to help her hang the clothes. Emily walked away with the clothes, clearly disgusted, but John followed persistently.
John, what brings you here?
Robert asked, returning from chopping wood and immediately understanding John's intentions when he saw the wine.
Robert, let's talk inside.
John awkwardly wiped his mouth and picked up the wine. He pulled Robert aside, his eyes still on Emily. I didn't dare follow to eavesdrop and obediently stayed with Emily. One day, John brought a jug of rice wine to visit Robert. As soon as he entered, he saw Emily doing laundry.
So, you're Robert's new wife. You're quite pretty.
He put down the wine and rolled up his sleeves to help her hang the clothes. Emily walked away with the clothes, clearly disgusted, but John followed persistently.
John, what brings you here?
Robert asked, returning from chopping wood and immediately understanding John's intentions when he saw the wine.
Robert, let's talk inside.
John awkwardly wiped his mouth and picked up the wine. He pulled Robert aside, his eyes still on Emily. I didn't dare follow to eavesdrop and obediently stayed with Emily. One day, John brought a jug of rice wine to visit Robert. As soon as he entered, he saw Emily doing laundry.
So, you're Robert's new wife. You're quite pretty.
He put down the wine and rolled up his sleeves to help her hang the clothes. Emily walked away with the clothes, clearly disgusted, but John followed persistently.
John, what brings you here?
Robert returned from chopping wood and immediately understood John's intentions when he saw the wine.
Oh, Robert, let's talk inside.
John awkwardly wiped his mouth and picked up the wine. He pulled Robert aside, his eyes still on Emily. I didn't dare follow to eavesdrop and obediently stayed with Emily. One day, John brought a jug of rice wine to visit Robert. As soon as he entered, he saw Emily doing laundry.
So, you're Robert's new wife. You're quite pretty.
He put down the wine and rolled up his sleeves to help her hang the clothes. Emily walked away with the clothes, clearly disgusted, but John followed persistently.
John, what brings you here?
Robert asked, returning from chopping wood and immediately understanding John's intentions when he saw the wine. John awkwardly wiped his mouth and picked up the wine.
Robert, let's talk inside.
He pulled Robert aside, his eyes still on Emily. I didn't dare follow to eavesdrop and obediently stayed with Emily.